Hi guys, welcome back. And this is Yoli Spaces, and today I bring you my two beautiful sisters, and we'll be talking about their careers. So I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
Yes.
Tata.
She always does this to me. Okay, my name is Esethu Chira. Yeah. And I am Nomfundo Mashonganyika Umsidman.
So today, ladies, we'll be giving viewers and subscribers a little bit info of what you studied in high school, varsity, and right now your careers as guys. I'm so blessed because architects as you architect. I've got my two personal architects. Kumnandi bandim. Ndiqala ngibafuna as what did we actually S and I studied in the same at the same high school, and we've done the same subject besides consumer and cat.
Yes, but we started the same.
Yeah, we started the same.
Burning the kitchen there, but
I went there, yes, because I'm in the kitchen.
I thought computers are more interesting than the kitchen, so I started.
So we studied EGD, and EGD was split up into. Now, do you also have EGD?
Yeah.
It was split up into two parts, right? It's civil and mechanical.
No, I think we had a bit of everything. Yeah, it was combined. It was mechanical and the building side, the perspective drawings.
To one perspective, then the mechanical.
Part of EGD.
Yeah, since we always had like two. It was split. It was like civil and mechanical.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you studied that. Did you always know that you're from by architect?
Actually discovered that in grade 10. That's when I started doing that subject. So I was like, okay, I did this subject. I was like, oh wow, this is interesting. And I was doing well in it.
You are actually doing very well.
I'm like, okay, cool. Like maybe I should start looking at careers based on this subject. Like, okay, what careers are available there? Check it, civil engineering. But I was like, oh, they needed maths and science, and I was not doing those subjects. So I was like, what else? And I was more interested in the building side of things, like designing buildings. I was like, okay, what's a career in this line? And I did my research, and I was like, okay, architecture. Oh, wow. And then I started researching like different universities and looking at their requirements, what subjects do they require, because I was in grade 10 that time. And I've discovered a CPUT, because I think UCT they only wanted pure maths.
Yes.
And I was thinking of changing to maths lit. It was more interesting.
But John had 5 apples.
You know, I like that English and the whole thing, playing with your mind. I'm like, okay, maybe maths lit, I can stay here.
Yeah.
And I've discovered that actually in CPUT they accept both maths and maths lit, but the maths lit you need to have 6. If you're doing pure maths, it needs to be a 4. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
You're already doing well with maths as well.
So like EGD and maths lit were part of the requirements. So like, okay, fine, I'll go for this. Then I was like, I don't need consumer science and consumer studies.
You didn't,
because we were cooking there. Like maybe I should do CAT, because part of the whole subject was CAT, where you do like CAT drawings. I was like, okay, maybe I should focus on this one. So that's where I actually discovered in grade 10.
Essie was way ahead of me. Essie was doing her research in grade 10. And I was like, okay, these subjects are very much doable for me. These are Zenza. In fact, I wanted the art. Remember, they discontinued the art just before we went to grade 10. I wanted to do art. I wanted to draw. And then by year, and then I was like, something that was close to drawing was the EGD. So let me just take the EGD and actually, as long as it's all but then I stayed with the consumer studies because in that time we pay and baking. So I also stuck out with that. When I Fifi, which subject to study?
Okay, so I went to a technical school.
Okay.
So they had many technical subjects. So I did civil technology. There was a subject in civil technology, EGD, CAT, and maths lit.
Yes.
So those are the subjects I had. Yeah.
Now, did you always know that you're going to be an architect?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say I did, but I know that when I was growing up, I was very much interested in those channels where they have interior design,
Yes,
those home makeover projects. I really enjoyed those.
Makeovers.
So I think initially at heart I wanted interior design.
Okay.
But then I confused it with the architecture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in grade 10, however, I did want to do civil engineering, but I didn't have the subjects for it.
Oh.
Architecture was my
Science.
second choice. Yes.
Science.
Architecture was my second choice, but I got accepted for it. And then my first choice in varsity, I applied for town planning.
Oh yeah.
That's first choice, and then I didn't get accepted for that, so I fell into architecture.
Yeah, you guys. Now, did you also do your research?
Not really. I wouldn't say I did.
Yeah, but you listen.
But I knew that whatever I do has to have design within. Because I even applied for jewelry design, UJ.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
Yeah.
I remember also wanting to do fashion design. That was actually my first choice before architecture.
Yeah, we could have done we could have done by iconic art. I think also
Yeah.
now we would have done art art instead of EGD or something.
See, because of school politics, they just took it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Which
But I'm like,
sad.
you never know, God plans differently.
yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
As in, I can remember I was sitting by my sends a portfolio, so I was like, I'm so lazy to do stuff. It says Obama up here.
Also now I was applying for architecture.
I was thinking about it,
Okay.
but now what I always had at the back of my mind is I want to do indoor that's commerce business related.
Okay.
Yeah.
That has always been a thing for me. I want to do something in it with business.
Okay.
But if
And
you know
he
what?
aced that business, I
Didn't-
remember. Mrs. Brown.
but
Child.
when you think I'm like, I could have nailed this architecture thing as well. But I'm serious. But either way, it's like, so you guys, you went to varsity no by 2, studied at CPUT, right?
Yes, that good.
But yes, I know we are not on Facebook. But either way, so in fact, Usonga, we studied at CPUT but different campuses. You know, none off the main campus. First year, you got to varsity. Sifuna bazi architects. Serious. How was your first year of varsity?
Very interesting one. Because I remember, guys, like the way I wanted the architecture was so crazy. Like I was like so passionate. Like I didn't even have a second option in my application when I applied.
That was it.
I tried. Like I couldn't. I was like, I only want this thing. If they don't take me, they don't take me. I'll see. And then I think we had to do our portfolio.
Yep.
Where we do different tasks and everything, and went for a test. Then they told us we're gonna go for an interview. If you don't get a call, just know you're not accepted. So after
You
that,
guys
like,
had the whole process.
anticipated. There was no call. I was like, oh my gosh. A letter came because they said if the letter comes and you haven't received, just know.
Too late.
I was like, oh Lord, the letter is here. I was shaking. I opened that letter. And then they said, accepted. I couldn't believe it. I was jumping up and down. Like, I was so excited. I remember that day. And then we got in, and it was very interesting. And I met this beautiful lady here. Was so not shy. Not really shy, though. And of course,
is reserved.
very reserved. But people's person in the way because she really loves people.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how we even became friends.
We
Like,
only
it was
became friends like later, like I think
later in
like
the year.
towards the end of first term.
Is it?
Oh.
I think.
Yeah.
Because like I also met you while we doing our first year
Yeah.
through ACE.
Yeah.
I met Fifi through ACE first year, even though we same campus as what ACE said. She's a people's person.
Yeah.
Undercover
Very
sisters.
Yeah, but-
Undercover. How was your first year?
It was tough, I must say. It was tough first year, guys.
Yeah.
But you pulled through.
Yeah, but we did. You have to
Yeah.
allow yourself. It was tough, Shem. I'm not gonna lie. It was tough, but we made it through. We made it through. There were people like, oh, AC. We had a group that would stay on campus like all the time, pushing each other.
I remember guys like you would be like, Exeni, I only left the campus, or I slept there, and I'm like, yo, hey, this is hectic. You guys would sleep there, and I'm like, yo, I left campus to go to work. Because towards the end of the year, I started working. So you guys were like, yeah, I was at campus. And I'm like, yo, it's tough.
And quite interesting, like, I never thought it was going to be like that. Like, you know, when people come varsity, you hear them, they're out all the time.
Living their best
especially
lives.
giving address, you know, like, okay, we're going to get this, we're going to do that. Until you get into architecture, bro, like,
It's a different world.
you have this submission, and drawing, it takes a lot of work.
time.
And it was freehand drawings, like, you have to be there all nighters after all night. It was tough, and it was actually, like, we did EGD in our own whatever capacity, but now this was more broad. We have this subject, and we even had, like, what's that subject? Building science.
Building
ABC.
science,
I was like, I ran away from science in high school. and I have to deal with it here. And some people actually come and give you like this kind of like scaring you away. Oh, this is tough. People fail. Do that. People tell you stories because I mean they've been failing, so they're gonna project their oh my goodness.
Don't
understand. So it's like
they're gonna project their fears on you.
You understand. So you do get such people, but then it also helped with having like a group because we work as a team, so we're like encouraging one another in a way. So every time we're there together, like, because it's different when you work alone. Especially for architecture, because you do a lot of studio work. So when you're together, we're like, you know, strengthening each other in a way. And finishing it, if like I know my strength, I will help where I can. And somebody helps, I'm like, I don't like renderings, you know. You just want to do perspective drawings, and now you have to render oranges. You see somebody next, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, am I in the right place? Do you understand? Some people can show up like, whoa, that's so good. I don't know we're gonna draw people and apples.
I used to cry, guys. I used to literally cry. I would cry. It makes me sad. It's sad.
It was. And especially because I think when we first started, like the group of I think my group was because we used to sit in groups in class. So the group I was with, it was mostly like guys and like 2 girls. And we have activities where we have to do we have activities where you have to like freehand, you draw your hand or something, you have to do the rendering. I looked to my right, to my left, and I was like, wow, these people are good. So now you can try to hide your own work, and it's so terrible. And you feel like you are like the least in the group, or like the weakest. You're like, oh my goodness, why am I doing it? I just want to run away from these people. And they used to make fun of my drawings. I'm like, no, whatever, guys. It was tough because you know, certain like
you're strong on the technical side.
Yes, and then on the other side, like, chai. It was not easy when you go for kids. You're like
hectic
people, man.
But you guys both touched on having support, you know, and from your first year bekunzima. Now I only experienced bunzima in my 4th year, actually BTech. I wouldn't say it was smooth sailing, but it been just to deal with it. Besides BTech research methodology. So la first year nenza ngene nokunzima niyabona uyabheklisha omnye ngapha, but how did you guys find la balance nokuba masisupport nani, let's hold each other's hands, we're all in this together? You had I feel like you had a more hectic year than she did. And how was the support for you from home, from friends, from your classmates or whatever? Did you get enough support?
I think I did. Honestly, I think I did. Because in my first year, the reason why I even got sick. I remember as I was hospitalized for like a week. I got sick during that year. So it was really tough, honestly, like physically, emotionally, in every aspect possible. It was just tough. But because I had friends like supportive people in class, there were other people as well. My parents, my family, they were there to encourage me on the days where I felt like giving up. I really did. I don't want to lie. It was tough. But yeah, having people who are there when you need them the most, it makes a whole lot of a difference. Hearing those words, people telling you that you can make it, even though now you have doubt, it sometimes makes a difference. It does. So it helped a lot, honestly, having people who believe in you.
To reassure you that you're on the right path.
Yeah.
When I asked you, did it ever cross your mind, as you said, people were making fun of your drawings. If you connect with you were like, maybe this is not what I'm cut out for.
I think once in a while you get to a certain stage where you kind of like we have those doubts, but there's that innate ability somewhere like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
No matter what's coming, I have to push through it. I'll get through it, because it's like you get to certain hurdles, okay, it's pressurized, right? But you'll get through it.
Yeah,
you see, I think also having a group of friends, because even if like in a class, there will be like different types of people, but you just have to know which one that, okay, you can click to, and the other ones, because some people are more negative, because you're already negative, you don't need that negativity. You need some sense of positivity. So also selecting the group of people that you work with is also very important, because even though we all started maybe like we were 90, towards the finishing line, you find out that we're only 50 people, because some people give up along the way. There's a lot that people go through, because like you said, some people might not get the support from home or the friends, or maybe they're alone, but it's really important who you surround yourself with, and also your family, to get that support. And so another amazing thing I also I saw from Fifi, like, even though she was going through all of this, she had that thing like, you know what, I'll get to this. And also, because even though she was going through that, because it's like, oh my goodness, now you kind of feel like alone, but she was also pushing, like being there. Even though she's going through this, we pushed through it. And I'd say your circle is really important.
It is important. It's important. And also, to know your end goal.
Yes.
Why am I studying what I'm studying? Yes. And I mean, like, you giving up is not an option, as you know. And also, I think like on campus they do have like people who help out. Like, for example, if you don't have family to support you or whatever, they've got like counselors or something that you can talk to.
Did you have that quick department yet?
No, I think they have it, but it's a
main campus. But anyone can. I think the last time I checked, I think anyone could like book. And if you want
to, same as like the clinic that they have.
So if you're going through the most, if it's hectic, and US it's COVID, and people are going through a lot. So I think services as in Gianna, just try to seek help as much as you can, even if it's not from family. If you have friends that can actually assist with such, make sure but we are teta and not feeling apagite.
It's important.
It is very important. It is really, really important. So the criteria to qualify to study Elander's architecture, what is it again? What do you need for a CPUT?
Alright, for CPUT, you needed to have English, obviously. It must be like code 4
upwards. And
then one of the design or technical subjects, and then that must be, I think it was 5 or 4, and then if you're doing pure maths, it needs to be 4. If you're doing maths lit, it needs to be code 6. And then also like
portfolio,
and also like your portfolio, you have to submit your portfolio, because I think your marks and your portfolio is like 50-50, and then after that you still have to go write certain test.
I'm not sure if they still do that though,
the test.
So those are the things that we had to do, and then, but I'm pretty sure somehow it has changed over the years. So also to do the research, you can go on the CPUT website, and in all the informations are there.
Interview, guys. What did they ask?
I didn't go to interview.
They did the test. They told us they were gonna call, and then they never called.
What test are you drawing?
So the test, there was, I think there was 2. The other one was more like English, And then the other one was it had maths and like some design
Yeah.
part in it. Yeah. So it's like 2 tests.
So you guys obtained your qualifications. You became qualified architects.
By the grace of God.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Now you two have got your qualifications sharp. Now, work-wise. Niyaphangela ngoku.
Yes.
Ningosabadala. Nixoya ibag. Going to work. Ndiyokloka. How has it been working?
Working. It has been interesting. But I must say now, like I haven't been exposed to you get different categories of architecture. Can I say it's a categories? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm mostly in the retail space. So
Okay.
I work with designing a retail store type of thing.
Okay,
I don't know
design
what-
my store.
Yes. So I don't know what it is. I don't know. You're more in the residential.
I'm more of like the refurbishment
Okay.
of the government buildings.
Okay.
Mostly it's government buildings.
Yeah.
Basically public schools, can be schools or hospitals or psychiatrist hospitals or clinics
As
and-
well.
yeah, no, because it's like she said, it's different
Categories. Okay.
depending on which firm you work for.
Oh, okay.
Because some firm deal with like this higher residential, like what you see on Clifton Beach and all of this, and some deal mostly with government projects. Some maybe like the retail, and it's different categories. There's
Interesting.
a lot. There's a lot.
Interesting. When you think of that, you
It's
just
the same thing.
eh.
I know. But
So-
architecture, you do a lot.
Yeah.
But you are kind of like limited in where you work in.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Depending on the firm that you're working at.
Yeah.
Yes.
What other challenges have you guys came across while working? I mean, theory, like the benefit of school and practical. Now you guys are working. Obviously, there are going to be differences.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
You learn as you go.
Oh yes.
You learn as you go.
definitely.
Because you don't know what you're gonna be exposed to.
Yes.
It depends
Yeah.
on the firm, like Esethu said, depends on the firm you get,
Oh yeah.
you work for, and then you just have to be open to learn
Yeah.
whatever they are working on. So yeah.
That's
It's-
so true.
Mm.
Because I think also there's a difference from varsity and actually working in the industry. Because I think in varsity we had that freedom. Even when it comes to design, you can go all
Yeah.
out.
Be
You have this different shapes.
Unrealistic
You go all
designs.
out. You know, it's like you have no limits in a way.
Mm.
And then when you get to the industry, it's real. It's more practical. It's like even you designing, you
There's
kind of
standards.
have to have at the back of your mind, how is this thing going to be constructed? You have
Okay.
to think about the detailed perspective. It's like now it's different, and also there's regulations.
Yes.
That's another thing that will just throw you off. Regulations. It limits you. Like
Okay.
you have certain categories. You're
For
not
certain
allowed to have a
places,
stage to
certain
be this
areas,
high.
Ooh.
So that changes the whole design. You may start with this beautiful thing, but
Yeah.
as you go to the final
Well, yes.
design, it changes.
Iyafana with buying when it comes to retail as well. I would see buyers, they would have this concept, this idea of a skate mhlawumbi would have 5 buttons with a slit, a symmetric skirt, yabo. And then I'm a final product lena ngoku say fit and flare inexocially one ivali with slit unyanisile.
Yes.
Unyanisile, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you guys enjoying what you're doing? Is it something whereby I will choose this over and over again?
Let me be honest.
Let me tell you this.
The truth is,
Actually, I have came across that question to even myself, where like you go through different challenges, even in the workplace. Like, oh, do I really want to do this?
Do I even want to be here anymore?
And then you ask, do actually people enjoy what they're doing. Like, it doesn't have to be what I'm doing, but you just look at, or even maybe you go to a shop or a tailor shop, right? Ding, 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 ding. You just see their attitude, like, do you actually want to be here? Or whatever. So I was like, maybe if you do your own thing, you have your own freedom, that's when you really enjoy it. Because like I said, deep down, your innate ability, you know this is what you want to do. This is what I love enjoying. And I feel like it should be done this way, this way, this way. That's where like that enjoyment. But when you're in a place where you're kind of like limited in a way, you can't go to this. It's like, it becomes, you know.
And
but
also when you have to do the same thing, because mainly I work with one retail thing. Constantly having to wake up and do the same thing every day. Oh my gosh,
it's draining. You need a change. You need to be exposed to more exciting stuff. Especially one thing I've noticed, especially like what you're saying, like when you're doing the same thing, it's like that details over and over. You know, but when you get something new, you have that excitement, like whoa, you get revived. And then I think now and then you need to like be exposed to different things.
Yes.
Because that thing of doing the same thing, it can kind of like dampen that
passion,
that drive you have for something. So I would recommend, even though you're working and you know how the system is, it's like redundant, the same thing, find something on the side to kind of like keep that passion that you have, like, or expose or explore a lot of things on the side.
Just to freshen up and to be relevant. So now we have a varsity student right now, and they're going through a lot. As varsity on its own, it's draining. It's a pandemic, and also having this virus, in a pandemic says it too. And utingoku, I'm walking away. I cannot do this anymore. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. And this kind of man sebenzi, and just drop everything. What would you like to say to them right now?
Don't give up.
My child.
And I know it's not easy. I went through a very difficult phase in my life. I think it was towards the 3rd year or 4th year. It was tough. And also, it's like you have those pressures from school. And it may be sometimes it's like your marks are not what you want them to be. It's like constantly you put your all and you're anticipating a certain result and you get it's like it's like it can mess up your entire mood or passion. And also maybe you have certain struggles, and maybe from home, or it may be financially, especially for students who are staying at rest. You're trying to make ends at the end of the month. I mean, like, you surviving on noodles, you know, that oros, you know, that bread and whatever, butter, peanut butter, you survive. It's normal. It's normal. It's not, it's just know that it's a season. It will end. Just run the race, you knowing that it will end, and you'll get a job. I mean, you're not the only one. We all also been there. It's tough. And also, even if you're struggling financially, don't just sit there. If you can find something on the side, like even maybe selling muffins or getting a piece job somewhere just to help you out, do that. And just don't give up. Just remember why you started. And also your circle is very important.
I'd also like to add, if you feel like you are not coping, don't be scared to split your year into 2. Don't be scared to do that. Don't be like, no, I remember I had a time where I felt like, you know, I'm not coping, and I'm going to take this decision now for myself, do what's best for me, because I know what I'm going through. Yes, as much as people will be there to support you, but now you have to be realistic to yourself.
Yes.
And say, can I, of a truth, push myself to that point, or should I maybe take a step back and split my year and do these subjects now and then the rest the next year. It's okay if you don't graduate with the class you started with. It's okay if you... It's okay. Don't kill yourself. Because at the end of the day, see, we are different. We all have limits. And if you feel like you need that break, you need that breather, go for it. Don't be scared. you can do it. You can make it as long as you get to the end goal. That's
Yes.
how you get there does not matter. As long as you
Philosophy.
get there, that's all.
We all start.
Yeah.
We may all start the same, like she
Yeah.
said,
It's
but what's
not a
more
race.
important is you finishing all.
Yes.
You're not a failure by just taking a break. It's normal.
It's not a race. It's really
As
not a
long as you
race.
finish.
Yeah.
You're a failure if you just stop.
Quit. Windows already.
Exactly.
And yeah, now just to add, Yani, support of the thing of surrounding yourself with the right circle. Nam iyanceda in varsity. I remember I would have my days by in the classes late, and I've been on campus since
I
6 a.m.
remember.
And
yeah.
I've been on campus like the entire day, and like you are Esethu would whip up something for me, so make me sandwiches. You can bring them on campus. Or also I would go to Reziabo and they would whip up something and cook for me, and like I would eat when they have fun.
With us, guys.
You know?
Yeah, we were literally squatting in Esethu
You know?
for the whole year.
Like kubalulekile. I think we're not taking away into of you having fun. Have fun while studying, but you balance. Try to find the balance,
Yes,
you know.
yeah.
Have your fun as much as you want, but ungayilibali into why you are on adversity,
Yes.
why you applied, why you studying. Don't forget that. That's very important. Just try to find a balance on what's workable for you. Surround yourself with abantu who want to see you grow as well,
Yes.
and you want to see them grow because now you have the same vision. I mean, I did not study what you guys studied, but his support system was, you know, it was huge. You know, we started friendships at varsity. You know, we carried from high school.
We did things on the side, but we made it true.
You know, because we had a vision of us to succeed and stuff. I remember I would leave class late and I go to her raise. I'm going through a lot. I go to her raise. I'm like, yo, I just need to chill and talk. I would leave, get past 9, and she would walk me to the taxi rank. And we've been discussing izinto. It's very, very important just to find a support system. Even if I fumana endlini, just try and find a friends, or as I said previously, campuses do offer such services as well.
Speak out.
Out.
Don't
Come
die.
on,
Guys.
Even if you're afraid to speak to your parents, it could be your friends. Speak up. You'll be surprised that even them, they're going through the same thing.
Yes.
And we encourage one another. Yes. Speak out.
Speak out. We're all going through.
Don't allow depression. Please.
Don't. Yes, no, bye. In the future, do you want to have your own firm?
Amen.
Are we looking at you having your own firm? I'm like, oh, my plans are not ever.
That has been, I would say, the vision, the plan, even when I was in varsity. Because even like working, not after getting this all excitement, oh my goodness, I want to design, I want to do this. That has always been the vision, to start my own thing. But obviously, you need experience.
Yes.
Like, and one thing I've discovered in architecture, it's like you can never have enough, because each and every project is different. You learn different things. So, but I would say even before somebody starts off your company, it's important to get that experience. So I think even for me at this phase, still gaining experience and exposure to certain things, and on the side start certain projects, and then when you get to that level, you can want to venture out and start to think, we need to do this, guys.
Mrs. Smash?
I wouldn't say that I plan on having a firm, an architecture firm per se, but I'm not, where I'm heading is not off the property, the architecture space. It's still linked, but I wouldn't want my own firm, no.
Why?
Why? No, I don't. No. I don't think passion yam
E.T. ban I have.
But you do want to start your own thing.
I love buildings. I love that, but not for me to sit and do that. No.
I get you.
No.
I'm sure Babugele, and you want to be an architect, you have picked up a thing or two. If you have any questions, just drop them in the box down below. Obviously abazibona sizabonwa ndim ndize ndibuzela ndiphinde ndibuye ndizonixelela bathini.